Hi, I'm Colton with Porsche Center Calgary, and I'm here today with another piece of our inventory. This one is a 2020 Macan S. One of only a few of these that we have left. We're down to just a handful of cars, and actually it doesn't look like we'll get a whole lot for the next few months, but we do have a couple to choose from, so let me tell you a little bit about this one. So as I said, Macan S, now people often ask what's really the difference between a Macan and a Macan S, and to be honest, there's not a whole lot. The biggest difference is the engine. You gain about 100 horsepower here. So a Macan 4-cylinder turbo with about 250 horsepower, Macan S 6-cylinder turbo about 350 horsepower. So pretty meaningful upgrade there, but other than that, there aren't really any differences in equipment. The couple of things that are different are the brakes, a little bit bigger, and silver calipers instead of black ones. And then the window surround here is chrome like we see on this one as standard on the S, that you can option it back to black, whereas with the Macan it'll always be black with the Macan non-S. But really that's about it. So let me tell you a little bit about this guy in particular. Exterior color is Volcano gray metallic, probably my favorite color available on the Macan. I think it looks awesome, and it's been quite popular, sells quite well. The wheels on this one are the 19-inch Macan Sport wheel, one of the more popular wheels as well. The standard wheel size would be 18-inch, so we upgraded a little bit there. And then the center wheel crest would be black and silver as standard. With this one, it was optioned to have the full color crest instead. Subtle touch, but I do think it makes a difference. And then sticking with the outside, this piece down here, they call it the side blade. That is as standard, just black unpainted plastic, but here it's been painted to match the body, give it a little bit of a more cohesive look. And then as well, what you might be able to see is a little camera on the front of the car, as well as this kind of protrusion here, a camera on the side of the car. So all of the Macans will have rear view cameras and sensors on the front and rear, but this one was upgraded to have the full surround view, so you get a top-down view, you can see all the way around the car, or you can switch to other individual views and look straight down the side, or a wide-angle front or wide-angle rear, so it gives you a lot more options in that sense than just the regular rear view camera. I do love the surround view. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you learn to trust the system, it works super well. And actually, one other thing on the outside, but not on the outside, you can't really see it right now, is the fuel filler cap. So usually that too is just a black unpainted plastic piece, but on this one it has the aluminum look, so it does feel a little bit more premium. You know, sometimes it's in these little subtle touches that impact your overall experience, and especially the stuff that you actually touch, right? Like your steering wheel and gear lever, shift paddles. Those are really always the most important pieces to me to be high quality, because that's what you're directly interfacing with, right? And that's where the aluminum filler cap, some people look at and think, it's kind of a silly thing to spend extra money on, but it is something that you're actually touching and physically interacting with, right? So it does make a difference. I think that's about everything outside, unless I missed something. Oh, the windshield on this one. We did the heated windshield, which we didn't used to do very often, because you could really see the heating elements in it, and it impacted visibility a little bit if the sun was kind of hitting at the wrong angle. But that's not the case anymore. Now they've designed them differently, so it doesn't impact your visibility anymore, and then obviously still has that added benefit of when it is real cold and icy out, you can just turn that on, and it's not just air, hitting it inside to cool it down, but actually a heating element throughout, so it gets rid of all that ice and just improves visibility substantially. So let's move then inside the car. This one has the standard black interior, which we'll put on most everything, and which I recommend. And then we did the Premium Plus package, which has quite a bit in it. So that gives you a seat upgrade. The basic seat is 8-way with artificial leather and Alcantara in the center. This one is a 14-way seat, gains thigh extension and 4-way lumbar support, and makes it entirely leather as well. You also get memory seat positions with the 14-way. The Premium Plus also adds seat ventilation, heated seats already being standard, so is a heated steering wheel, by the way. The Premium Plus is also going to give you heated seats in the rear, as well as the Bose audio system. Pretty meaningful upgrade there over the base system. Also gives you the panoramic roof, which we've found most people really consider a must-have nowadays. Also the comfort access, so you're just touching the door handle to unlock it without taking your keys out of your pocket. And without that feature, you also want to take your key out of your pocket and actually plug it into the dash to start it, whereas with it, you can leave your key in your pocket and just flip the ignition switch to start the car. So that too has been kind of a must-have for most people. And then upgrade your headlights too to the dynamic ones, Porsche dynamic lighting system. So they're always LEDs on the Macans now, but if you turn the steering wheel with the dynamic lights, they'll turn with it, so you can kind of see around the corner ahead of time. And if you speed up, they'll kind of project a little bit higher up, so you can see farther ahead. Really cool system, great for a lot of nighttime driving. And what have I forgotten here? Oh, the Apple CarPlay being part of that package now. That's awesome. So another pretty highly sought after option. Most people want that, so they put it into that Premium Plus package. You used to have to take an individual box to get it. Now you don't. It's just built in to that package, so you can use all of your Apple apps on the screen. Not necessarily all, but all the compatible ones on there. Another great system, works super well. Basically, if you know how to work your phone, you know how to work that system. It's basically the same thing. And then in addition to the Premium Plus package, we added one or two other things, one of which being the lane change assist or blind spot warning. So it'll light up in kind of on the inside of the side mirror here if somebody's in your blind spot, and if you signal while they're there, then it flashes to draw your attention a little bit more. There's nothing audible with ours, it's just strictly visual, so it's a little bit less distracting. I find sometimes the systems that beep and do a lot of that can get a little bit annoying, whereas with just the light, it's not so bad. And you can also dial that light up or down and make it brighter or dimmer if you prefer. Also, a small option, in fact a $0 option that I'll take a moment to explain that this one has, is what they call the smoker package. Now people often see that and they say, I'm not a smoker, I don't want that. Why are they still designing cars for smokers? There's so few nowadays. But what it actually does is there's a little space in the center console that as standard is just left open, but in my opinion, it's not quite big enough to use for much. You can't really fit most modern phones in there, and it's a little bit awkward. When you get the smoker package, it puts a lid over that space, so it looks a little bit cleaner, and then gives you what I guess technically be an ashtray, but most people will just use for coins or little things in there. So I find you get a little bit better utility with that, and aesthetics, being able to just close that lid and have it look a little bit cleaner, as opposed to just leaving it open. But $0 option, so it really doesn't affect the cost of the car, just a personal preference. And then finally, Power Steering Plus, which we don't put on that many of our cars, but we've found more people are asking for it, so we put it on this one. And what that gives you is a variable weighting in the steering. So at low speeds in a parking lot, it's much lighter steering than you would have as standard, makes parking it a lot easier and effortless basically. And then when you're driving faster, it'll weight that steering up so you get a little bit more feedback out of it. So that pretty well sums up this example. Really nicely equipped, and price point on this one's about $81,000, which is nice to see on a Macan S. Sometimes we see them optioned quite high, and all our options are nice. They're all nice to have, but in my opinion, this one really has everything that you would need, and you're spending a whole lot more than some of those other ones that we've had in inventory. So do hope you like this one. If so, give us a call or pay us a visit. We'd be happy to show you in a little bit more depth, or take you for a drive. If not, as I said, we have a few more pieces of inventory, but not a whole lot. However, always, if you can't find the right one, we can also factory order you a car. So do give us a call if we can do anything else to help in your purchase process. Thanks so much for watching.